My name's John Baylor, sitting in for the great Greg Sharp, who'll be back next hour. Stay with us. Jessica Cootie's out there getting all these exclusive with Husker football players. She'll be bringing in tape. So stick around for hour number 2. And with us is the interim president of the entire University of Nebraska system. This isn't just UNL. It's 4 campuses. And his name is Chris Kabourek. President Kabourek, thanks again for joining us.
John, it's great to talk to Greg and Jessica, and I got to meet Matt Coatney and my idol Kent Pavelka, but now at the cherry on top tonight, to get to talk to the legendary John Baylor is my absolute pleasure to be here.
Well, are you a big volleyball guy? You got to be.
Absolutely. My wife makes us turn on the radio broadcast
Nice.
every time it's on TV.
And synchronize it.
She's more excited that I'm here than I am. So.
And you've been at the university system 27 years.
Yeah, I've listened to you come driving in. I think I started in middle school too. So yeah, this is my 27th year. It's just been an absolute blast and a great journey, and it's such a wonderful place to work. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And 20 years with the leadership team, and you've been the CFO effectively for the University of Nebraska system for like more than 20 years.
About a little less than the last decade, yeah. But okay. I've been in the financial aspect of the university for more than 20 years.
And interim pres, and then you're turning it over the reins at the end of this month.
End of this month, I'm working right now with Dr. Jeff Gold, who's the chancellor at UNMC currently, and he'll be taking the seat on July 1, and really looking forward to working with Jeff, and it's going to be a seamless transition, and can't wait to work with him and his team on moving this great institution forward.
Well, people want to hear about sports, and you're a huge sports guy. You're a basketball official. I got to talk about that, but we may not have time for this. So scholarships are a big deal in my mind, because we got to take all these great Nebraska young men and women, make them realize how great an opportunity the University of Nebraska system is, and not just Lincoln. You got Kearney, and you got Omaha, of course. And you guys are throwing money at these kids to make sure it's going to be affordable.
Well, one of the goals I had at the interim were two pretty simple things. One, I really wanted to reconnect the university with all Nebraska. We have some great campuses. We're obviously very connected: Lincoln, Omaha, Kearney, Curtis, and some other institutions. But I grew up in Davis City, Nebraska, rural Nebraska. I go home a lot. People say, "What does this university mean to me?" And it means have you been to your doctor? Probably a good chance they've been trained at UNMC.
Yeah.
Do you drive on our highways and bridges? Good chance our engineers.
You run a business. You're looking for employees. We don't have a lot of great ones.
Exactly.
They're probably going to be educated at the University of Nebraska.
And our school system. Probably a good chance that one of the teachers and administrators came from the University of Nebraska. So the University of Nebraska touches every corner of this state. And, and so that was one goal. Really wanted to reconnect with all Nebraskans, urban, rural, north, south, east, west, wherever you're at. But, some of this was personal. I have my oldest he just finished his first year at UNO, so I kind of went through the process as a parent last year, and quite candidly, to get to the point, John, we were, sometimes still are, getting out-competed. We have places like Alabama, Tulsa, Mississippi, Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, coming after our 5-star academic athletes, our student academics. And so our team kind of went to, that shouldn't happen. We understand there's going to be, not everybody's going to stay, but we shouldn't get out-competed for our own best and brightest. And that really was the genesis of the Presidential Scholar Program, which is our most prestigious scholarship program. It offers a full total cost of attendance, so tuition, housing, books, living expenses, and we even give you a $5,000 cash.
You're getting paid.
You're getting paid. But really, what we found out, what our goal was, and I think we're seeing this, is we want to bring fun and excitement back to academics. We see this in athletics. You have the 5 stars, the 4 stars. You have the volleyball player who's got the Husker hat and the Texas hat and the Wisconsin hat. Which one is she going to pick? And so why don't we take a page out of that playbook?
Love it.
I talked to Coach Rule, Amy Williams, Fred Hoiberg, John Cook, and pick their brains. How do you recruit these young people? Because we should be doing the same thing for our academic all-stars. And so the President's Scholar, right now it's only for students who get that perfect 36 ACT. But we're excited because I think we're going to hopefully, depending on, this is still dependent on Board of Regents actions on next Thursday with our budget, but we're hoping to expand that very quickly to, if you have a 32 or above, will it be an application process. We still want to incentivize those perfect 36s because you're an automatic qualifier. And we've heard from a number of kids saying, hey, I got a 34, I went back and got that 36, and, what a great ROI. I know you're big on this, but over your 4-year career, that President's Scholar is worth over $120,000. So, we want to start incentivizing kids to work really hard, roll up their sleeves, do really good at academics, and we've just had a phenomenal response to the program so far.
And right now, teachers are having a tough time. We got a shortage of them, and they don't often get praised enough. And they're on the front lines and make such a difference in our culture, possibly the most important job in our culture. To see their best students rewarded like the high school coaches see their best athletes rewarded, I think can have a pretty positive trickle-down effect.
Yeah, I'm going to steal this from Governor Pillen, but, I heard him talk. He said, what are the handful of people you always remember in your life? Your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, but it's also a teacher, a coach. And, that's one of the things we're really proud about the President's Scholar, because there's a lot of good scholarships out there for engineers or math majors or computer science. But our scholarship's open to anything. And we're really excited. We actually have one young woman who's going to come to UNL next semester, and she wants to be a teacher. And she obviously didn't want to take on a lot of debt, so she was looking at offers out of state because they're giving more scholarship. But she's going to be right here now at UNL. She's right here from Lincoln Southeast, and so, she has a passion to answer that call to go be that mentor for the next generation of kids. So, what a great tangent story to what the President's Scholar can do for a young person.
Interim President Chris Kabourek visiting with us on Sports Nightly tonight. My name's John Baylor. I'm in for Greg Sharp, and absolutely all Nebraskans, with any sort of analysis would realize this is an economic engine. It's called the University of Nebraska, but we got to make sure that they appreciate it. To what extent is the logo, the helmets, the volleyball important in creating this appreciation, not just nationally? I mean, when I travel, why do people know about the University of Nebraska in my home state? Nebraska football and the College World Series, in that order. But how important is it to the brand and to the magnet that it is and needs to be for all the Nebraskans that this athletic program thrives?
Yeah, we like to talk a lot about how athletics is the front door to most, not even alumni, but to the university. But you nailed it. I mean, when I travel as well, you have that big red N on your chest. Everybody's like, go Big Red.
GBR.
GBR. And so it's immensely, the brand power is immense. And that really hit front and center to me when we went through the athletic director search and the immense amount of interest we had in the job, just because people were attracted to the brand and what it represents, doing things the right way, rolling up our sleeves, Midwestern hard work. People were attracted to that. So, I get asked the question a long time, what's the importance of the Big Ten? We've had very public statements about getting back to the American Association of Universities, AAU. University of Nebraska right now we have 18 new members, was adding UCLA and USC and Oregon and Washington. There are now 18 incredible institutions in the Big Ten. There's only one that's not in the AAU, and that's Nebraska, and that's not right. We should not accept that, and so that's why we've been very public from the Board of Regents, from Dr. Gold, myself, that we're going to do everything we can to get back into it because, that brand is powerful, and not only from an athletic standpoint, but it allows us to attract, a different type of faculty member, a different type of research grants, and all that added together adds values to our students' degrees, but it adds value to Nebraska. We are a national player being in the Big Ten, and so I have never been a zero-sum game that an investment in athletics is taking away something from academics. They truly are hand in hand, and we will work together, and they complement each other very, very well. So we're going to continue to invest in both the academic side and the athletic side.
You do hear quibblings, maybe a little nostalgia now and then for the old days in the Big 8 even, but certainly the Big 12. You lived it professionally, 27 years since 2018, CFO for the university system, Interim President Kabourek. What has the Big 10 meant beyond athletics to the university system?
Yeah, we don't probably publicize this enough, but there's so much that goes on outside of athletics in Big 10. There's a whole academic consortium where our faculty and our researchers are working with other Big 10 faculty and researchers on collaboration, on research grants and research projects. You know, we all get to share library materials. I think I heard the other day, between the Big 10 institutions, it's like the third largest collection of library materials in the world outside the U.S. government and maybe Great Britain's government. So we could go into the whole on the medical research side and the cancer research, all the great things, partnerships going on there. So maybe not a lot of things that our average Nebraskan doesn't see, but behind the scenes at the university, we know how important those relationships are. And like I said, people are attracted, we were talking about brands, people are attracted to the Big 10.
Yeah.
You know, faculty want to work and teach and research at a Big 10 institution. No offense to our non-Big 10 peers, you know, in the region, but being a member of the Big 10 certainly puts us on a pedestal above many of our peers in the region.
We're being equated with Michigan, Illinois, Purdue, Minnesota. I mean, these are some of the finest public universities in the country, and Nebraska's side by side in a conference which Stanford tried and couldn't get into.
Or Cal Berkeley. So, I mean, and we are adding 4 more incredible ones. I mean, Washington, Oregon, UCLA, USC. And the great thing is, you know, we work well together. I mean, I've gotten the pleasure over the last 6 months to work with the presidents and chancellors of each of those institutions. You know, navigating our way to a very tumultuous time in college athletics with NIL and the antitrust settlements and all that, but it's very impressive group, very collaborative, very congenial. So we're really proud to be a member of the Big 10.
Tough question, Chris Kabourek. I just am so impressed that you officiate youth basketball on the side. We don't have a lot of time. Can you synthesize this for us? In the years you've been officiating, how have parents changed just during the games, what you see and experience while officiating?
You know, I don't. You know, a lot of people want to say it's worse than it was. It's just the level of passion. You know, I would say it does the lower level. So I work a lot of college ball, a lot of high school, a little bit of youth. And the lower you go, you know, everybody's still the next LeBron James or the next Caitlin Clark, and so. But overall, you know, I understand it's passionate. You know, your job as an official is not a lot different than being a president. Your job is to absorb chaos, provide some calm, and provide some hope for those players and those athletes and their coaches going forward. So it's been a great training ground. I hope to keep doing it, and I really love the game.
Interim President Chris Kabourek, University of Nebraska System. Pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, JB.
More Sports Nightly when we continue. Stay right there.